O Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints and sages of all times, of all places, Namaste. O ye pathmakers of old, Namaste. Ancestors of all of the bloodlines to whom we attune, of all of the lineages to whom we attune, Namaste. Om Shri Ravi Vanamaha, Om Shri Chandra Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Mangala Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Buddhi Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Brihaspati Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Shukra Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Shani Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Rahu Ji Vanamaha, Om Shri Ketu Ji Vanamaha. Om Shri Uranus Jiva Namaha, Om Shri Neptune Jiva Namaha, Om Shri Pluto Jiva Namaha. O ye powers that be, pour forth thy blessings upon us. Sweep clear the path, that we might have that which we need, that we might know that which we need, that we might see that which we need. Sweep clear the path for us at this moment. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to my heart and to our Sunday Sangha. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and sit back and relax for a moment. 3 long, deep breaths. Feels much better, doesn't it? Once upon a yogi time, there was a king who had a kingdom, just like you, just like me. And he was responsible for everyone and everything in his kingdom, just like you, just like me. His kingdom was inhabited by peoples and creatures of all sorts, just like you, just like me. And it was very loud. It was filled with demands, people wanting to sway him to their way of thinking, just like you, just like me. One day he became tired, and he said to his advisors, I want to take a walk today. I want to go out in the country, clear the calendar. Oh, of course. I'm going to leave in a few minutes. Oh, no, Your Majesty, you have to get ready to go. We have to get it. I'd like to just go by myself. Well, you can't go by yourself. You are too important. Everybody will want to come with you. So this nice walk in the country turns into all of his counselors have to go change clothes and get there. And then there has to be somebody to carry the water and carry the picnic that his wife said he had to take, etc., 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 etc. So the king's walk in the country grew and grew and grew and grew until his chief advisor came and said, you know, if you go outside, people are going to see you, and you have to wear your crown when people see you. Oh, please, I just want to go for a walk in the country. I have all this beautiful land. I just want to go for a walk. You never know who you're going to meet, Your Majesty. You need to take the crown. The crown is so heavy. You need to take the crown. All right. He puts the crown on, and you can feel as soon as he puts it on, the weight. He goes outside, he's wearing the crown, and he's wanting to walk by himself in the country. But all of his counselors are next to him. The people on the street see him, and everybody is calling him, "Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty." He has no quiet at all. And he gets more and more tired as they go out to the country. So they finally arrive at a place that when he was a child was his favorite. It was a lake that his mom and dad used to take he and his sister to. Really liked it. Beautiful, beautiful place. Not terribly far from the palace, but far enough that at one time it was quiet. He leans over. To look in the water. Kerplunk. Kerplunk. Don't ask me how this happened. But the main stone, the big crown jewel, fell out of his crown. Can you imagine? I don't know, the glue came loose, something happened. It fell out of his crown and made a big splash in the water. Everybody heard it. Momentary silence. And then the cacophony got greater and greater and greater and greater. People were on their phones. They were texting, "Come, come, come. The king has lost his crown. The king has lost his crown jewel. What is going to happen? What is ever going to happen?" And they went in the water, and the water got muddier and muddier and muddier and dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And the king was beside himself. He didn't know what to do. They wouldn't be quiet. They were all so emotional and so upset. Pretty soon, he looks down. There's a little girl. Somehow, a little girl had come and got next to him. Very unusual. He didn't recognize her. "Good afternoon, Your Majesty." "Good afternoon, my child. I don't recognize you. You're not one of my family." "No. I live over in the forest with my teacher, with my guru." "Do you have a problem?" "Sure is awfully noisy here today. We're not used to all of this, Your Majesty." "Look, the crown jewel fell out of my crown. Everybody's blaming each other. They're all trying to find it, but they're not able to find it." "No. I think I can help you, Your Majesty. If you'll let me. If you'll let me." "You're just a girl child. I don't mean to be rude, but how old are you anyway?" "My age doesn't matter, sir. I think I can help you." "Well, you can't do any worse than all the rest of them are doing. So give it a shot." "Will you do what I ask?" "Yes, yes, 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 yes." Generally, the king was very polite, but he was so frustrated and so beside himself that he was just became like a regular old fellow, and he was kind of matter of fact and kind of very discouraged, really, very discouraged. For all around him, people were saying, "The kingdom's going to fall apart. The crown jewel is gone. This was a terrorist attack. Somebody loosened the crown jewel from the crown. This was an intentional sabotage. We're all in danger." The little girl said, Your Majesty, I think you can do this now. Just ask them all to come out of the water. Come out of the water, come out of the water, come out of the water. Nobody's paying attention to him. Nobody's paying attention to him. He calls his chief of staff over. The chief of staff takes the horn and blows it. The king has asked that you get out of the water now. They get out of the water. Everybody gets out of the water. They're soaked, they're wet, they're muddy. They're arguing with each other. They're pushing each other. She says, just have them sit down. Sit down. Your Majesty, no one should talk. Ask them to shut their eyes and don't talk. You heard her. Shut your eyes and be silent. Pretty soon the little girl gets up. The silence has grown and grown and grown. She walks over to the water and she reaches in the water. Your Majesty, is this your jewel? She hands him the beautiful blue crown jewel. The king looks around and he goes, shh, don't tell them we found it. Don't tell them we found it, he whispers to the little girl. She says, oh. And she sits with the king and teaches him to meditate, to watch his breath, to ease his mind, to let go of all of the emotions that arose in his mind. And after a time, his peace radiated out to all the people of his kingdom. His contentment radiated out to all the people of his kingdom. And he said to her, would you teach my people this secret of yours? You can come to the palace. No, thank you, Your Majesty. But if you want to send a few of your advisors here, I will teach them, and they can teach the others. But I do not want to go into that palace again. And with that, the little girl offered the king her blessing. And the king bowed his head and accepted her blessing. She mysteriously vanished into the forest. to only come out when the advisors came to study, to meditate, to turn inward. And in time, that kingdom became peace-filled. In time, the fear dissolved away. In time, the anger dissolved away. In time, the conflicts dissolved away. The king was wise. He put in place a new law, a rule. I'm going to give it to you. It's a secret. When anyone came to see him, when anyone came to talk to him, when anyone came to ask him help, he taught them silence. He didn't try to solve their problems. He listened. He was quiet. And if you came into his presence, the chief of staff would stand at the door and say, "Now, you must breathe and you must be silent before you enter the presence of the king." The only way you will see the king is if you are still and silent. And shutting their eyes, the silence of the room took over. The santosha of the room took over and filled them and blessed them. Many left without even speaking to the king. They could not remember what they wanted, what their needs were, because they were quiet and they were listening. It is a time around the world when there is much fear, when there's much confusion, when there's much anger arising in the minds of the people. You can say, well, it's not new. I'd say, yeah, that's true, it's not new. But it is accelerating right now. All over the world, people are fighting each other. People are fighting for resources. People are denying other people food and water because of the emotions of the mind. And one of the things that causes people, you and I perhaps, to become most emotional is the idea that there's something that's unfair that's happening or unjust, or the other person is not getting what they deserve, either positive or, unfortunately, for some cases, your mind may say negative. It is important, it is vital, if you wish to find your own enlightenment, to let go of the emotions of your mind. That was my greatest, first, and longest spiritual discipline. First thing that my guru said to me, stop being so emotional. And one of the last things he said when he was on the earth plane is, look at how well you've done. And I said, well, what are you talking about? Because I couldn't see it. But it was a quest, a task, a practice, a repeated practice, my beloved, to let go of the emotions of the mind. They will rise again and again and again and again. And you stir them again and again and again and again. And your mind thinks it's justified in stirring the emotions again and again and again and again. And then you tell stories great and wondrous stories about what might happen. What might happen? What might happen? And your mind is in pain, and your body is in pain, and you share that pain with others based upon what we would say is your subjective view of what might happen. What is important, what must be done, is to become aware of the emotions as they're rising in your mind. The crown jewel of the king was found when everyone became quiet, and the mud and muck and confusion of people stamping in the water. The water is emotionality, my beloved. The water is not being able to see clearly. You can see clearly when your mind is quiet. You cannot see clearly if the mind is not quiet. If the mind is filled with opposition, if the mind is filled with attachment to your preferences, you cannot see clearly. Thus, you must let go of your biases and your prejudices and your preferences. Now, today is the third in teachings on yogic practices to let go of fear, anger, and confusion. Sometimes there will be events that will arise in your life. People will become angry with you because somehow or another you failed them. You failed to be there when they needed you. You didn't react the way that they wanted you to react, that they thought you should act. Somehow you failed them. Well, what must be done is don't attack the other person. Don't argue with the other person. But simply say, I understand. To you, I wasn't there when you needed me. For you, I wasn't there to solve the problem when you needed me. I'm sorry. You simply diffuse it. You begin by diffusing it by saying, I see how difficult it was that I wasn't there. I see how difficult it was, how you feel. You may not want to do this, but it is the wisest way to do it. It will help to diffuse all of the anger. And in a sense, in a beautiful, beautiful, wondrous sense, it demagnetizes everything for you. You say, oh, yes, I see how you're feeling about this. It's very difficult. Now, perhaps the real problem could be solved by XYZ. Let's see, is the problem that I wasn't there, or is there some other way that we can find a solution to this situation? Is there something else that can be done that is going to make this better? What could we do now that will make it better? What would make you feel better now? And so that you take that anger, you take the confusion, the fear that they have. So I understand it. I see you. I hear you. I see you. I hear you. I'm not denying what you're feeling. I'm not pushing you away. I see you. I hear you. I accept you. And I respect you. Just that. I see you. I hear you. I respect you and I accept you. Now, I did not say, I agree with you. I did not say, I support your position. I said, I see you. I hear you. I accept you. And I respect you. Very simple. no judgment. You have elevated and moved away from the emotionality of the mind, and you are accepting the other. I guess. And it is important to know you don't have to understand what their problem is. You don't have to be able to understand why they feel the way they feel or how they feel the way they feel. That's not important. What's important is that you are silent. And that without judging, you accept them. There is something so mystical, mystically beautiful, just one of the most wonderful, beautiful things in life, when we know and we are in the presence of someone who accepts us as we are, who doesn't try to change us, who isn't trying to reform us, who isn't trying to change the style or color of our hair, or the outfit that we're wearing, or the way that we think, or the food that we eat, or the way that we talk, or the way we communicate. How do you let go of the emotions of your mind? And why? Why? How do you see it? How do you see the emotions of the mind? I don't know. How do you see the fear, the anger, and the confusion? You must lift above it. And you must sit in that blue light of self-awareness that is above your crown center and say, without judgment, let me see that I might find tranquility and peace and clarity, that I might see the reality. There are wars going on. Yeah. These wars have gone on and on and on and on and on. The groups of people involved in these wars have been incarnating again and again and again. This one wins, they reincarnate, another one wins. This one wins, the other one wins. This one wins, the other one wins. It's a circle. Get off the circle. As a mystic, on the mystical path, emotionality is not good. I know we have in modern science psychotherapy, which certainly is good and has its place and can be very, very helpful. But sometimes psychotherapists will say that it is good to replay the emotions, to go through it, to stir it up. Now, mystically, the yogi says, no, that's not helpful. What is helpful is to neutralize, not suppress. I didn't say suppress them. I didn't say forget them. I said neutralize them so that they no longer have an effect on you. That's what must be done, is the emotions of the mind must be neutralized. To neutralize, we must rise above them. Quiet, peacefulness will help to do this. I received a note earlier this week from a young woman, a very, very lovely soul. And she said, I'm really disturbed. I'm having a really hard time. You keep saying that if I really want something and I don't get it in this life, I can have it in the next life. And that's really upsetting to me. It causes me pain. She said, I was raised in a theology. She was raised in a theology, a particular theology. I won't mention it. And in that theology, they said, I would go to heaven. When my life ended, I would go to heaven. I lived my life here and then I would go to heaven. Now, she did not say, bless her soul, she did not say they told me that I would have everything I wanted in heaven. She did not say that they said that I would work and this would happen in heaven. But she said I would go to heaven, and it was easier. It was easier to think that than to think that somehow I had to keep working, that I had to keep doing to draw what I wanted into my life. That's what's so painful, she said, is here's this, I keep running up against the same problem again and again and again. That's the path of mysticism. That's you and me and Kriyananda ji also. You, me, Kriyananda ji, and Shelley too. It's the laws of karma. You're going to run into the same problem again and again and again, my beloved, until you have a primary experience which creates a satori, an aha, aha. Oh, I see. That is what triggered that. Oh, that's the match that caused that. Oh, I see. Wow. What a blessing. What a blessing. It's not the priest telling you, not me telling you, heaven knows, you shouldn't ever walk away from a class with me or a meditation with me feeling like, well, I have to do what Swamiji said. No, no, no. The path of Kriya is about you having your primary experience and thus your awareness, your insight. Because when you have it, my beloved, when you have it, not when I've told you or Kriyanandaji's told you or Babaji's told you, but when you know, it can never be taken away from you. You will know, you for you, what needs to be done. Thus, what is important, what I have tried to say to you today again and again, you reduce the emotionality of the mind. The primary thing that I'm saying today, key skill, is become silent and listen. Listen. Listen without trying to solve. There's a problem we have in modern society. We're always trying to solve the problem. Always trying to solve somebody else's problem. I was at lunch not long ago with some young family members, and in our family, generally, it's a rule that you don't take your phones out at a meal. They're put aside. They don't take them out. But one of the youngest ones, somebody asked a question. I don't know, it was a factoid about something, nothing that was world-shattering, but, I wonder, So she sneaks her phone out, and under the table, she Googles it. It gives us the answer. It happened 3 times during the lunch. And it made me think, what would happen to our minds if we didn't Google it? What would happen to your consciousness if you were simply quiet and listening without trying to solve the problem immediately? Do you hear what I've said to you today? Somebody is angry and upset with you. Acknowledge their anger. I'm sorry. And you may not be wrong. You may not have any reason to apologize. But if you want to be happy, it's just fine to say, I'm really sorry that you feel like that. I'm really sorry that this made you feel like that. I'm really sorry you're unhappy. Now, how can we improve the situation? What can we do? And if they want to hit you with a wet noodle, you don't need that. But you don't need to fight them. See, I'm really sorry you're feeling like that. Can we find another way to solve your problem? It's the third time I've said this to you. The key is your spiritual unfolding important enough for you that you will say, I can say I'm sorry. Because all I'm trying to do is neutralize, become, I'm not a piece of metal, I'm a wood, I'm a piece of wood. I'm earth. I'm not the fire. Fueling their flames. I'm not the wood being thrown onto the flames. Just the earth and nothing can stick to it. I'm not the air blowing the flames with my mouth. So hold and maintain your silence, my beloved, and listen with acceptance, with respect. Accept them and respect them. Hear them. Whoever the others are, hear them. Don't have to understand them. Again, I'm repeating it so you hear me. Please. So that you feel it. Quietude will help you. Now we're going to share in a meditation together. And the meditation is one that will help you to wash free of any difficulties of the mind, of the body, of the karmic challenges and karmic difficulties. But as I have said to some of you recently, we are in a period of time where your spiritual efforts are needed to make a difference in the world. Your spiritual efforts make a difference. Your meditation makes a difference. Your letting go of your emotional mind makes a difference. You know, it's exciting to be emotional. It's exciting. The blood gets all pumped up. It's very exciting. It's very, you feel, for some people, they feel alive. Can you let go of that? Can you let go of that and be peaceful? Can you let go of the idea that if you're not worried and you're not as emotional as everybody else, that the world's going to fall apart? And somehow you think, your mind thinks, well, if I don't join in, they're going to think I'm a bad guy. If I don't join in, I think I'm a bad guy. If I don't join in, I think it shows I don't care. No, no, no. Neti, neti, neti. I'm not this thought. I'm not the thought thinking this thought. I am not thought. Let go of your need to step in to the muddy water of emotionality. Let go of your need to step into the muddy water of fear, of anger, and confusion. For once you become confused, anger and fear arise. Once you become confused, your mind can be manipulated very easily. Always remember that old saying, give me your children before they're 7, and I will have them for their lifetime. If you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, people will believe it's true. And so today, resume your practice of the affirmation. Free me from my negative thoughts, that I do not pass them on to others. Free them, free me. Free them from their negative thoughts, that they do not pass them on to me. Free me. free them. Let us meditate together, and then we will send our prayerful meditations to those in need around the world. Namaste Ji. Sitting with your spine erect as you are able, your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together upon your thighs, cupped upward. Turning your head to the left, exhale twice, and bring the head back to the center, beginning to watch the breath. With the next inhalation of the breath, draw the energy from the limbs of the body to the trunk of the body. From the trunk of the body to the spinal column. From the base of the spine to the sun center. Take that energy as a golden ball of light out in front of you. Expand that light and move it around to the left, encasing your being in golden light 3 times. And now ascend. Ascend to the high place of meditation. Finding yourself in the high place. Sit in meditation. Focus your attention at the point between your eyes. In your mind's eye, see a mountain in front of you. A path leading up the mountain. Enter onto the path, which leads into the forest. Ascend. Ascend. Walk through the meadow that opens in front of you. Ascending of the mountain. Ascend through the high forest. A light shines in front of you. The path opens to a grove. A shrine appears, as if it is perfect for you. Enter into the shrine. Breathe in the light. Walk to the back of the shrine, into a pool of light. Your clothing dissolves away. The old weariness dissolves away in the pool. And you walk to the waterfall of light. Standing beneath the light. The light pours down upon you. Around you. Through you. Washing away the karma. Washing away all of the emotionality of the mind. Feel your body filled with the light. Breathe in the light. Walk forth from the waterfall. Feel yourself walking a little bit above the water, above the pool of light, levitating a small amount. Just walk above the water. As you walk forth, clothed anew, breathe in the light. Be filled with the light. Walk forth from the shrine, knowing you can return here at any time to soften the karma, to let go of the emotionality of the mind. And now with great ease, return to the high place of meditation. O ye powers that be, join with us as we send our meditative prayers. Thou knowest better than we that which is needed. We call upon Thee to join us in sending forth our blessings. For all of those souls who are coming into the earth, particularly for the daughter of Satyananda and Luz, as she is at the precipice of arrival, may her journey be blessed. May she remember her goodness from her past and bring that with her. For all of those souls who are coming to the earth at this moment, may they remember their goodness. May they hold on to their goodness. May they bring that awareness with them and be a blessing unto life. Let us chant the Om Shanti mantra to radiate forth our blessings. As you chant the mantra, see the golden dewdrops of Anandic bliss pour forth from your sun center upon the earth and upon those for whom we are praying. Chant the Om Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 For all of those souls who are living with water insecurity, with food insecurity, with housing insecurity, with work insecurity, for all of those souls who are living with the emotions of fear, of anger, of confusion. O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we how to dissolve these emotions. As we chant this mantra, may the golden dewdrops of bliss pour forth upon the earth, that all of those beings living with this confusion, the anger, the fear, that they be helped, that these emotions be neutralized. Again, 3 times with the Om Shanti. Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 O ye powers that be, there are many helpers upon the earth, many helpers in the other realms who help us upon the earth. Send forth with us thy blessings, that the helpers have the skills, the wisdom, the insight that they need to help to soften the karmas of the earth plane. Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 O ye powers that be, we send forth our blessings to Mother Gaia herself, our gratitude that we are living these lives upon her. May these blessings go to her as she most needs them. May the light of Kriya, the light of bliss, the light of Ananda pour around her, through her, upon her. Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om. Om Tat Sat Om. Om, thou art that. Thou art life. Thou art not apart from it, but thou art life. Aham Brahmasmi. You are the creative principle. You can bring joy into your life. You can bring contentment into your life. You can bring wisdom, compassion into your life. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Choose to walk the path of enlightenment, to walk the path of your own illumination. Choose to let go of your fears, your anger, your confusion. They are just thought forms that are attached to your mind. Let go of them at this moment. And fill your mind's eye at this moment with Anandic bliss. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Namaskar. I thank you for your blessings, for your meditative prayers. Continue them. They make a difference. Namaste ji.